Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some of the not best news to go and talk about when it comes to the PlayStation, Xbox, GPU, car, laptop, whatever shortage that's been going on throughout these past few months. And I figured for this type of stuff, you should always at least know because this does actually affect everyone. And of course, for all of us out there still trying to find GPUs and consoles, it does also affect this too as well. Now, I don't want to always be the bearer of bad news, even though if our title might be a little bit more on that kind of side. I will try to keep a positive twist, and I will go and say throughout the rest of this week and the next week afterwards, we should actually probably have a pretty good stock amount of restocks floating around everywhere. And throughout the past week and a half or so, we've also seen a lot of Xboxes and even some pretty good GPU waves going on as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. Don't worry about it. We'll still be getting restocks. We'll still be getting stock. And it's not like, oh, I should go and be sad about it. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something to be somewhat conscious of. And it's just never kind of good news. So we'll kind of see how this information kind of flows. It's always it changes every day. So this will be on the PS5 restock stuff, some stuff that's going on up in China, and how that's going to affect up all the future restocks in the near future. If any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. Make sure you guys also use the Linktree link down below for bonus entries. We also have the Amazon links always down below for the PS5 disc, digital, warehouse, consoles, controllers, all that good stuff. Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys like to go and follow. And as well, we also do have the Weeble, sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. And let's go and see if we also have a Switch Pro announced today. I kind of doubt it, but we can kind of go and see what's going to happen. So let's go down this video itself. This will be from Tom's Guide. We're going to go talk about this. So if you guys can go and tell, the PS5 restock shortage could get even worse due to a COVID surge in Asia. So this always, I want to also double stress this. I try to be more positive. Could get worse. And you guys will probably go and see why. So a surge in COVID-19 cases will reportedly slow down chip production even further. So we're already looking at global chip shortage. I'm sure you guys mostly know about this with the semiconductors having issues, all these factories being overrun, basically just a lot of supply chain constraints. Everyone's trying to get these semiconductors and display drivers. If you guys have watched my videos a lot, you guys probably know, or if you guys are just kind of caught up on the global economic issues, you guys know. But when it comes to production, if you also have halts in production, that's, of course, never good. So it looks like there actually might be a situation in the short term. It may even be worse than predicted, which could impact everything from PS5 restocks to cars, Teslas, Xboxes, GPUs, and all of that. The Wall Street Journal did go and report that Asian nations, which generally actually did go and fare better than their Western counterparts at early COVID-19 containment, are now lagging behind the vaccination, which is not necessarily good, as it's causing problems to chip production. So not good. So in Taiwan, instances have been on the rise since May, so the past few weeks. According to the South China Morning Post, cases actually went from a single to triple figures in a matter of days. This has actually hit one major chip manufacturer hard, the King Yuan, hopefully it's the right one, Yuan Electronics Co. and company specializing in testing and packaging chips, which are those are the things you basically use like all the semiconductors. Has reported had over 200 employees now testing positive this month, in addition to 2,000 already in quarantine. This, the journal reports, has slashed revenue estimates by a third. So basically, just you guys want to actually have proper numbers off that. Imagine the overall chips, and imagine of them basically getting cut down by 1/3 because workers can literally not go and work. Now, this is not an end-all be-all thing. Don't worry about it too much. If it has a 2-week or 3-week little bit of a delay, not the biggest deal out there, but it's something to be a note on, because basically if you don't have the workers and they're quarantined for those 10-12 days, they're just not able to work. And if you have, let's say, a COVID outbreak, you have 50 people out there and they're just not getting anything to be able to made, it does go and stall production. Now, of course, this is more of a short-term issue, if anything, unless everything kind of goes exponential, which at that point we have more issues to worry about. But this is actually affecting a lot of these companies and semiconductors out there as well now. And like I said, also having their revenues actually slashed by 1/3, that's actually very, very hefty. That's a lot bigger than you guys would probably expect. And especially when it comes to how hard it is to actually produce and make these things and the high demand for it, this can basically go and bottleneck everything a little bit more. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not an end all be all, but it's not good. So this is more so now in terms of the pure PS5 stuff. So TSMC, a company that makes the chips for the PlayStation 5, Apple, Qualcomm, and others, is reportedly, thankfully, not yet affected. However, the outbreak is happening next door to its headquarters in Hsinchu, Taiwan, and a semiconductor analyst tells the journal that the situation in Taiwan, of course, will worsen the shortages. So basically, it's kind of saying like, yeah, you have a little bit of a hiccup going on. It'll probably push things back a little bit. But once again, they're still making stuff. They're still producing things. Things are still on the move. And of course, as well, unless everything gets completely shut down, which as of right now, I'm assuming won't happen. And we're also still seeing the vaccines rolling out and tough as well. And people are still working. Like, I'm just trying to keep a positive twist on this so no one feels too doom or gloom. If anything, we maybe see a few little week delay in terms of overall production. It's not the biggest deal, but it's something to be aware of in case it does get worse, which I think a lot of people are in the thought process on. Back in May, Sony did go and warn analysts that the PS5 would remain in short supply through 2020. We've all kind of known that. It's not the best things, but ideally, they'll probably go and have a lot of stock around Black Friday and Christmas times. So, I mean, ideally, if you guys just can't get it now for another like 3 months or so, at that point, I'm sure throughout Black Friday and all throughout the Christmas season, they'll be bumping out console restocks every single day. And hopefully, I'm not still doing restock news around then. If I am, whew, oh, wish me luck, boys. Wish me luck. I mean, if people still need consoles, I will help. But good lord, maybe I'll doing like just like maybe like one video a day at that point and kind of calm down. But basically, I don't think the demand is coming down this year, and even if we secure a lot more devices and produce many more units of the PlayStation 5 next year, our supply wouldn't be able to catch up with demand, which is an okay thing. They're always making consoles nonstop. Even the PS4 had that same exact type of issue. And of course, with every launch cycle, PS3, PS4, Xbox, it always kind of happens and eventually does cater off as well. And I do think whenever a scalper is going to calm down too, that will definitely help out too as well. And they're all not only the companies hurting, the journal's reports highlights a Malaysian factory that has also been forced to extend a planned holiday shutdown by 10 days after employees tested positive for the virus. The Malaysian Semiconductor Industry Association says this will reduce the company's output by 15 to 40%. So basically, as you guys know, all these semiconductors everywhere have been having major issues, the actual production issues and everything. So now that we're seeing all these other different types of places, even like the one we just mentioned over here, actually having their stuff basically out like decline by 40% is not good. And even the one we just actually mentioned too as well was actually went down by 1/3. So it's not the end of the world. We've kind of been having these like highs and lows when it comes to production. This stuff happens. It's unpredictable stuff. We get it. And it may go and slow down the production a little bit, but you guys can also go and see the production is still going. They're still making stuff. They're still developing stuff. And thankfully, as of right now, the company that's mainly on making the PlayStation 5s for the chips are not affected. But as you guys even saw in the article, it literally goes and states like, hey, it's like right next door. We have to be worried about it. And we probably have to plan for this in the future. It's kind of like the same thing, like say if you're like we're in America and then Canada has a lot more outbreaks and cases, it'll probably affect America a little bit from like, you know, trickling on in. It happens. It's not, like I said, I keep on trying to keep you guys positive. It's not doom and gloom. It's not the world's worst thing, but it is just something to be aware of. Thankfully, this is not like, you know, the Texas shortage where basically it shut down all of the plants for like weeks, or like semiconductor fires that basically burnt down the actual like, you know, semiconductor plants, which is not good news a few weeks back. But thankfully, we still are getting consoles and things are still being made, even with all this stuff going on. So don't worry about that too much. An outbreak in Asia doesn't just affect the chip production lines, it impacts the ability to actually ship the products to as well. The journal highlights Yatian, a container port south of Shenzhen, I probably said these all wrong, sorry, which handled nearly 50% more freight than America's busiest port. It is apparently at virtual standstill thanks to an outbreak amongst dock workers with a backlog of around 160,000 shipping containers waiting to be loaded. Is apparently operating around 30% of normal levels. If anything, this actually would almost like, if we could see more information on this or more of a proper publication on this, I may want to go and talk about this more. So if you guys see another separate video on this and this type of topic, don't mind it, because that's actually something I think is a little bit more of a bigger output than say the semiconductor factories. So if anything, that is scary, because if you guys also remember the Suez Canal issue that happened a few weeks back, that also definitely put a big hamper on everything and set everything back a lot. Like I'm talking a lot. So in case you guys see another video on this in your sub boxes, I'm going to try my best to maybe do a bit more of a deep dive and good research on it, because I'd probably say in comparison for the percentages, comparing like a 14 to 15% decrease. So let's say it's at like a lowest point 60%, a highest note 85% efficiency. This is at 30%. Like that's like that's 70% lower in comparison for that. So I don't know. This if anything seems like a way bigger deal, especially because you need to literally have the consoles in America to sell them. Same with the UK, same with Canada, etc. And I feel like this is a bigger deal. So we may make a separate video on this as well if we can find more good information that's worth making a video on. So make sure you guys are sub for that. And what does this mean for consumers, of course, is shortages of an in-demand product and a playground for scalpers. Basically, it's just not good. Not good at all. But thankfully, it keeps on getting better and better and better. More people are getting consoles. We're still seeing production still going on. We're still seeing restocks. We'll still be having a lot of restocks all throughout these next few weeks, so don't feel too bad. PS5 stock continues to sell out as soon as it comes available, and NVIDIA's latest GeForce 30 cards vanished from virtual shelves in seconds, which was also insane. If you guys saw the GPU stuff, it was like literally instantaneous. Like I'm talking like within 30 seconds, stock was fully sold out. It's been insane. It's so hard to find this stuff, man, which is why I'm kind of happy I'm like waiting to go and update my computer. I have a 2080. I'm cool with sitting on that for a while. No big deal. And there's also always the issues, of course, too, as well with the cryptocurrency. So never good. As the journal notes, while Western nations tend to prioritize reopening over virus suppression, many Asian governments are looking to eradicate cases, even if that means a shorter term economic pain. And that means having to deal with some sold out signs and scalpers gouging customers, maybe something we have to get used to for the next couple of years. So very interesting stuff. There's a lot we kind of covered on throughout this video, but it kind of just seems like some factories are trying to make sure Corona doesn't go and spread out too hard. And as well, they're trying their best to go and work at lower efficiency rates to make sure there's not a major outbreak, which I can understand. It's not the best news we want to go and see, but I do think a lot of these governments are basically handling the situations pretty good. And this is something I may want to go and touch on in a few more videos, more so on the specific cases as well. So if you guys ever see me talk about that stuff in more detail, don't mind me on that, but it's always intriguing stuff to go and see. I'd rather people be safe. I'd rather us all get out of this global pandemic as soon as we can, get life back to normal. And I do kind of agree, it's not the best. I'd rather always have them be working at a 100% efficiency rate, but I mean, I'm okay with them working at like a 75 and we're still getting consoles, maybe just a little bit slower, as long as like everyone's safe and we can kind of get back to a normal world sooner rather than later. If you guys can give me your thoughts down below, in case you guys are curious. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching this video in the first place as well, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream link down below too as well. We also have the Amazon links as always for the PS5 disc, digital, and all of that good stuff. Webull, definitely sign up for Webull. Deposit $100, you guys get a bunch of free money. Go and do it to it. Why not? And of course, Coinbase. If you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys all for hanging on out. I'll see you guys up later on throughout today for another brand new video. Love you guys.